Hey kids, it's already late. You guys need to go to bed. We have to go to Sabbath class tomorrow.
Please, one more story, please.
All right. Just one quick story, guys. But then, straight to bed. I know a story you will really enjoy. It's about one of your great distant relatives named David.
We're related to him for real?
Yes, children, we are. And this story is very special because Christ came from the branch of Jesse, which is the father of David. So starting here, we get to see the line of Christ come all the way down to us today. In Acts 13 and 22, the Most High said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. So David was pretty special to the Most High.
Oh wow, Daddy, does that mean we're related to Christ too?
Yes. Okay, guys, get settled. Let me break the story down to you kids. There was a huge war that was about to happen against one of Israel's enemies at that time, called the Philistines. This was no ordinary fight, but one that would go down in history forever. Kids, the Philistines had gathered all their armies and were ready for the battle. They came together at a place called Shokar. This place belonged to Judah, and King Saul and the men of Israel were also gathered together with their tents near the valley of Eliab, and were ready to fight against the Philistines. King Saul was their leader.
Tell the men that we will be fighting soon. Everyone get their hearts and minds right, ready for the battle. This is going to be a tough one, but with the Most High's help, we'll make it through.
The Philistines stood on one mountain on one side, and Israel stood on another mountain on the opposite side. And there was a valley between them both. Suddenly, a giant man appeared out of the Philistines' camp. This soldier was one of their champions, whose name was Goliath of Gath. He was no mere man, but a giant standing over 9 feet tall.
Dad, how can a man be 9 feet tall? That's huge. I'll be scared.
Yes, he was that large. And Israel had to fight him and his army. So who would fight the giant? Relax, guys. Let's see what happens next. Goliath stood up tall and yelled into the armies of Israel and said unto them,
I don't know why you all came here today, like you're ready for a battle. Are all of you going to fight today? I am fighting for the Philistines, who will represent Israel and fight me. You are all servants of Saul, right? Represent your king and come down and fight me. Whoever can fight me and actually kill me, then will we bow down and be your servants. But if I win against him and kill him, then you will all be our servants and serve us well. I stand against Israel today, so send me a challenger now!
When Saul and all Israel heard the words of the Philistine giant, they were stressed, and the men trembled with fear. Now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. Jesse had 8 sons. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest. And the 3 eldest followed Saul into the battle. But David, being too young, stayed behind to tend to his father's sheep. But who knew he just might be the brave soul to face the giant one day.
I will fear nothing, for I am a son of the living God of Israel. I have strength and power from my God on high, and nothing shall harm me or my sheep.
Meanwhile, back at Shoko, the Israelites were continuing to prepare for the battle, but no man was brave enough to face the giant. Every morning and every evening, the giant Philistine would come and make fun of the Israelite army, challenging them to fight him. This went on for 40 days straight with no contender in sight. Now Saul and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Eliab fighting the Philistines. The battle had begun, still with no contender for the giant Goliath.
How can this be that not one man, not even one, in all of Israel will fight the Philistine? How will we defeat them and return to our families? I know there has to be someone. Anyone!
Is there anyone here that will man up today? Yes? I didn't think so. I thought Israel was fearless and protected. Doesn't look like that now. Prepare yourselves to serve us.
David, my son, gather some dry corn and these 10 loaves of bread and take them down to the camp where your brothers are with King Saul. And take these cheeses unto their captain. And while there, David, check on your brothers to make sure they're okay.
Yes, sir. I will go quickly and return as soon as I can.
Now Saul and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Eliab fighting the Philistines. The battle had begun, still with no contender for the giant Goliath. David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and went to his brothers as his father Jesse had commanded him. As he approached the valley where the battle was, he could hear the voice of the commander yelling out commands to the army. Israel and the Philistines were now going head to head in battle. As soon as David saw his brothers, he left the bags in his carriage with the driver and ran straight to his brother and saluted them with respect. And as he talked with them, there came up the champion, the Philistine of God, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and challenged the army of Israel, and David heard him. All the men of Israel, when they saw the giant man, fled from him and were sorely afraid.
Have you seen the great Philistine come to the camp? He's trying to take us down, and I'm sure that the man who kills him, the king will shower him with gifts and riches, and even give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
And David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying,
What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and takes away the thrift from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine anyway? Who does he think he is, coming against the armies of the living God?
That's why the man that kills this man will be exalted in Israel for sure.
And Eliab, David's older brother, heard David talking to the men. He became angry because he felt like David was doing too much.
David, why did you come out here? And who is at the house taking care of your sheep? Or are they wandering in the wilderness? You play too much, David, and have too much pride coming down here trying to get involved in this battle. I know you up to no good.
What have I done? I have done nothing wrong.
David was disappointed that his brother thought that he was trying to create trouble because he really only wanted to help. You see, David was not afraid at all of the Philistine, and he knew there was a promise on his life from the Most High God. He had some of the greatest faith that most men will never understand. Well, let me give you a little backstory on David. The Most High God had become dissatisfied with Saul for his disobedience and decided that he wanted a new king. Even though Samuel was very sad about the Most High's decision, he was obedient to his request to anoint a new king. Samuel was told to find Jesse and anoint one of his sons. That was the Most High's choice. Samuel was a brave new strong prophet, but he was worried that if Saul found out about his task to anoint a new king, Saul would surely try to kill him. The Most High instructed Samuel to take a heifer with him and say,
I have come to sacrifice to the Lord.
And the Lord would show him which son was chosen to be king. Samuel walks on to Bethlehem, The elders of the town were afraid and asked if Samuel came in peace. His response was yes, that he was simply there to do a sacrifice with Jesse and his sons.
Shalom, Jesse, my friend. How are you? I have come this day to do a sacrifice unto the Lord. Please, you and your sons join me.
And Samuel sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to the sacrifice. When he saw Eliab, he said,
Certainly, this must be the Lord's anointed one.
But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his appearance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. Because the Lord does not see as man sees, because man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord examines the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab, and made him come before Samuel. But the Lord rejected them both. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, but the Lord rejected him as well. Again Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, The Lord had not chosen these.
Jesse, are these all of the children that you have?
There's one more child that I have not shown you, but he is my youngest son, who tends to our sheep.
Jesse, send someone to go get him, because we will not sit down until he comes and is present first.
And he sent and brought him in. Now David was ruddy and had a beautiful face. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed David in front of his father and brothers. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. See, kids, David had an anointing on him from the Most High. So he was no ordinary young man going to war with the Philistines. The Most High, God, had a plan for his life and knew what he was capable of. Now back to the story about Goliath. When the guards heard that David wanted to fight the Philistine, they quickly told the king, and Saul sent for him.
My king, let no man who is afraid go before this giant. I will go fight and defeat this Philistine.
David, hold on. Wait a minute. I know you mean well, son, and your heart may be in the right place. But you cannot go against this Philistine to fight with him. You are just a boy. This giant has been a warrior since his youth.
My king, I am your servant, who kept his father's sheep. And suddenly there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and killed him, and retrieved my lamb out of his mouth. And when the beast rose up against me, I caught him by his beard and beat him and killed him dead. I killed both the lion and the bear, and this little uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of the beasts that I took down. He has sealed his own fate by coming against the armies of the living God. My king, please understand that the same Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine.
David had convinced Saul that he could do it, and he wasn't going to hold him back any longer.
All right. Go ahead, David, and may the Most High God be with you.
And Saul armed David with his full royal armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. David put Saul's sword upon his armor, and he started to go forth to fight. But he hadn't tried them out before. They did not work as well as he expected.
Saul, I cannot go with these, because I have never used them before. I have not practiced with these items of war.
And David quickly took them off, and he took his staff in his hand, and he chose 5 smooth stones out of the water, and put them in the shepherd's bag which he had. David grabbed his sling, and with confidence he approached the Philistine. And the Philistine started marching close towards David, along with the man that held the shield before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he was insulted by him, because David was just a young man, ruddy and beautiful.
Am I a dog that you came here to me with sticks? Who do you think you are, little man? Is this some type of joke? Come to me and I will tear you limb from limb and leave your flesh for the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field.
You come to me with a sword, a spear, and a shield? But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have chosen to challenge. This day will the Lord deliver you into my hand, and I will beat you, and take thine head from you. And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all who witness this today will know that the God of Israel is not saved with a sword or spear. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will, without a shred of a doubt, give you into our hands.
And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came near to meet David, that David jumped up quickly and ran straight toward the army to meet the Philistine, and with full courage and no fear. And David put his hand in his bag and pulled out a stone. David placed the stone in his sling and began to swing it round about his head very fast.
I'm tired of playing with you, little tiny Israelite boy, with your little Israelite toys. This has been funny, but I'm done now. It's time for you to die today.
And as the prideful Philistine boasted his words, David stayed focused on his mission. He continued to swing the sling until it had gathered great speed and suddenly slung it and struck the Philistine right in the forehead. He hit him so hard that the stone sunk into his forehead, killing him instantly, and Goliath fell to his death upon his face to the earth. All of the army of Israel jumped for joy, yelled and cheered because they couldn't believe David had really killed the giant and liberated the army from his oppression with only a sling and a rock. Therefore David ran and stood upon the body of the Philistine and took Goliath's own sword and drew it out of the sheath and cut off his head. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled in fear. All the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and chased the Philistines. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they took their spoils of war. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host,
Abner, whose son is this youth?
As thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell.
Inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand.
Whose son are you, young man?
Daddy, he really just killed him with a sling and a rock? The Most High must have been with him. What else happened? What happened next?
Okay, kids, that's enough for tonight. The story will continue soon, and you're going to love it. Let's get some rest now.
Aww.
Okay, guys. Good night.
Okay, love you. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Caleb. Good night, Patient and Ahrayah. Good night, guys. Leave a comment, like, subscribe.